This is what I live for, teaching what I love to do. So thank you for having me on.
Next level layers, techniques in Photoshop with Dave Cross.
We are going to talk about how to lighten eyes.
What I want to talk to you about today is how you can work your stuff with one light.
My philosophy is very simple. Anytime I'm looking at a problem, the first thing I'm going to try is something that's as automatic as possible.
I'm going to give you specific, actionable things that you can do. I'm going to show you how easy this is to do in Photoshop.
But here's the key difference with the patch tool. If there's anything about this you don't like, you can still use these numbers and try something different. So I can go in and say, well, let me see if I change the structure to 1. Oh, I like that a lot better.
And we want the red, yellow grass to be green also. But the grass is not just green, it's all shades of green. Turning off the test layer, zooming in a bit, turning these off, and turning these on.
You can change the color. So I can come in here and I can start changing the color. More blue, less blue. Change it here, right? Look at that.
And I just set up a small octafilm and had the model standing against the wall. And basically lighting through the shadow, I was able to create the look of a kind of a hard, sweaty, athletic feel, which is basically what we're trying to exemplify.
You can see that there's still a big difference between this and that, but without making a really tight selection, just doing just enough where I got rid of those didgeridoos, I can then come in here and do 2 different edits.
Now, if you want to duplicate the layer mask, hold down Alt or Option, click the layer mask and drag it up to the next layer, and that'll copy it. So now I really have the dress pattern exactly where I want, but I need a blending mode.
If you look really closely, there's a little link symbol on our layer here. That tells me if I go to the properties panel, I can look inside here and it currently says don't apply layer comp. If I click on that, look, there's the list of the layer comps that are within that logo that I just placed.
Let me add a photo mask. Let me make this black and white. I'm gonna click a black and white icon. Okay, I'm gonna hit a curve adjustment just to boost her up so she's a little bit brighter. Make that a little bigger so you can see that. Okay, and then I'm just going to go to her photo, add a layer mask down here, add my gradient tool, set it to black, and just come over here like this and just fade that out, just like that.
And to also understand that the experts are learning all the time too. These things are so huge that there's, I'm learning new things about Photoshop. My technical editor in the book says, oh, what about this feature? I'm like, oh.
Many years ago, before tools like Content Aware Fill existed, I used to live and breathe the clone stamp tool. And now I'll say that I rarely use the clone stamp tool anymore except for some kind of finishing touches because the other tools are so much more automatic.
I'm going to mention in a second that I actually saw Victor do this technique before, and I did not approach the image this way. But now that I saw Victor's approach, it has changed the way I approach other images for color changing.